So, if you're someone who's aiming for that next level, for a kind of success that's truly unshakable, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving into the final tests, the hurdles that separate the true visionaries from absolutely everyone else. We're going to look at how they master their inner world to achieve what most people think is impossible.
And this quote, wow, it just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? We all face this choice every single day. Do we fight reality, kicking and screaming, and just keep losing? Or do we accept the facts for what they are and start acting from a place of real power? This whole explainer is about mastering that choice.
So we're going to get super specific and zoom in on two areas where pretty much everyone gets stuck, even the most driven, ambitious people you know. We're talking about our most intimate relationships and how we react when we're faced with a crisis that seems completely insurmountable. These are the big ones, and once you master them, you unlock a kind of invulnerability.
Okay, first up, the relationship trap. Why is it that so many of our connections, which start out feeling like a dream, eventually just turn into this energy-draining drama? It's a pattern for sure, and there's a very clear reason why it happens.
You know the story, right? A relationship starts and it feels absolutely perfect. But then, pretty soon, it starts swinging back and forth like a pendulum between incredible connection and just awful conflict. One minute it's all tenderness, and the next it's jealousy, control, and emotional manipulation. This isn't just bad luck, you guys. It's a predictable cycle that comes from a deep misunderstanding of what a relationship is even for.
And this right here, this is the absolute core of the issue. See, the majority mindset, on the left, looks for a partner to be a kind of painkiller for their own insecurity. It's like saying, you complete me, you fix my emptiness. And of course, when that person inevitably fails to do that, drama explodes. But the visionary mindset, it's a totally different game. They use the relationship as a practice, a tool for becoming more conscious. So instead of reacting blindly to their partner's pain, they just create this space of silent, loving presence. And in that space, conflict just dissolves. It can't survive.
And that idea of creating space leads us perfectly into our second big topic. The next major test is all about how we handle things when they go horribly wrong. And it all boils down to one incredibly powerful and, almost always misunderstood word: surrender.
Now, when you hear the word surrender, what pops into your head? For most of us, it's weakness, right? It's giving up, waving the white flag. But that's a total misconception. True surrender is not about being passive. It's the profound wisdom of just yielding to the facts of the moment, of accepting what is. Because when you drop all that useless mental and emotional resistance, you can finally act with total clarity and power. This little analogy makes it so clear. Just imagine your car is stuck deep in the mud, okay? What's the typical unconscious reaction? We yell, we hit the steering wheel, we blame the car, the weather, whatever. We're just burning vital energy fighting reality. But the act of surrender is step 2. It's simply accepting the fact with zero judgment. Okay, I am stuck in the mud. That's it. And from that place of pure calm acceptance, that's where step 3 comes from. Genius action. You're not panicked anymore. Your mind is clear, and you can take sharp, effective, surgical steps to actually get the car out of the mud.
And this is the absolute crucial point here. Surrender doesn't instantly get the car out of the mud. It doesn't change the external situation. It changes you. By dropping the drama and the resistance, you clear your own mind, and that single internal shift unlocks the level of intuition and action that was totally unavailable a moment before. And this is where it all comes together. This is the ultimate application of this whole principle. How you can literally turn a crisis into fuel. See, for most people, a catastrophic failure is the end of the road. But for a visionary, it's just the beginning of a massive transformation. Let's think about this like alchemy, okay? So you start with the base material, the heavy, dense metal of pain. We're talking about a devastating loss, a career failure, something that just shatters the identity you thought you had. To the ego, it's pure, unbearable suffering. And then comes the fire, the searing heat of the crisis itself. The pressure gets so intense, the pain of resisting what's happening becomes so great that you're literally forced to let go. You have no other option but to surrender. And this is the moment that hard protective shell of the ego starts to crack. And what emerges from that fire? What's left when all the junk is burned away? It's pure gold. It's a deep, indestructible inner peace. It's the discovery that your true self, your core consciousness, is something that cannot be touched by any external success, failure, status, or possession.
And this says it all, really. When you have been through that fire, when you've faced your absolute worst fear, and you've realized that your core self is still there, completely untouched, the fear of losing just vanishes. And in that moment, you become truly, deeply invulnerable. Your power to act in the world just expands beyond belief.
Okay, so how do you maintain this? How do you keep this state of mind in your day-to-day life without needing a massive crisis to get there? Well, there's one final master key, a bonus tool for you.
And that key is forgiveness. But listen, let's be super clear. This is not about some fluffy moral duty to be nice to people who wronged you. No, this is a brutally pragmatic tool for yourself. Holding on to resentment and old stories does nothing but chain you to a false identity of being a victim. And that victim identity keeps you paralyzed and powerless. The moment you forgive, the moment you let go of all that toxic energy, you reclaim every ounce of personal power you were wasting on the past.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to really think about. Look at your own life, right now. In your relationships, in your work, inside your own head, where are you fighting reality? What resistance, what little piece of resentment is draining your power at this very moment? Because identifying that, that's your first step.